Good morning students, welcome you all once again. In our previous video, we were discussing about the chapter Nelson Mandela's autobiography, Long Walk to Freedom. In previous video, we had discussed that Nelson Mandela was telling about the struggle he and others faced to achieve that freedom. So, in the continuation of that, I am going to start the next para. It is from these comrades in the struggle that I learnt the meaning of courage. Time and again, I have seen men and women risk and give their lives for an idea. I have seen men stand up to attack and torture without breaking, showing a strength and resilience that defies the imagination. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid but he who conquers that fear. Students, comrades means here a colleague or a fellow member of an organization. Resilience is the ability to deal with any kind of hardships, problems, and recover from its effects. Defies is to refuse or to refuse to obey. Triumph is great victory or achievement. Students, Nelson Mandela gained his strength to stand against the wrong from all the great nationalists he mentioned above, who have even risked their life for freedom and tolerated ill treatment, but never stopped fighting. Not only the men were involved in that struggle, but the women were also the part of this fighting. He learned that courage did not mean the absence of fear, but it is the ability to overcome the fear. The man who overcomes the fear is called a brave person. According to him, in every person's life or in every person's heart, there is fear presence. But to feel fearful is not that he had not or she had not courage. But when you overcome, when you win over your fear, that is the real courage. Or it means that you are really a brave person. Next stanza is no one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. For love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. Even in the grimmest time in prison, when my comrades and I were pushed to our limits, I would see a glimmer of humanity in one of the guards. Perhaps just for a second, but it was enough to reassure me and keep me going. Man's goodness is a flame that can be hidden but never extinguished. Students, grimace is very serious or gloomy, or you can say the hard time. Glimmer is shine faintly or with a wavering light. Pushed to our limits. Pushed to our limits means pushed to the last point of our ability to bear pain or to bear a too much pain. Reassure is say or to do something to remove the doubts. Students, as it is taught or one is taught by its society to hate humans because of their skin, color, age, gender, and religion. No one is inborn with hatred. The author's idea is that if people can be taught hatred, they can also be taught love and brotherhood. Students, I would like to give you one more example related to it. As we have seen a small kid, when you pass a smile, he or she would also answer or reply you with a smile. It means he or she loves you. But if you scold him or her, he would not reply with the scolding. It means that hate can be taught, but loves come naturally. So, the author Nelson Mandela wants to say that if we can teach the people, if we can teach the children to hate the others, so definitely we can teach them to love the others also. Students, in their most testing times or most hard times in prison, when they were being treated brutally, Mandela would see a pinch of humanity and kindness in one of the guards, and that was enough to keep him going or to motivate him. He believes that goodness in human being can be suppressed, but it can never be eliminated or it cannot be removed completely. The next para is in life, every man has two obligations to his family, to his parents, to his wife and children, and he has an obligation to his people, his community, his country. In a civil and human society, each man is able to fulfill those obligations according to his own inclination and abilities. Students, obligation is used a duty or a commitment. Civil is here courteous or polite, and inclination is a natural tendency of behavior. According to the author, every human being has its responsibility in his life, and it has or the man has two moral responsibility during his life. First one is towards the family, and the second one is towards the society, towards the nation, towards the people of his nation. Generally, under the normal circumstances, a person can maintain the balance between the two, but in countries like South Africa, it was never so easy. So, students, just like the country South Africa, definitely it was impossible for a man of my birth and color to fulfill both of those obligations. In South Africa, a man of color who attempted to live as a human being was punished and isolated. In South Africa, a man who tried to fulfill his duty to his people was inevitably ripped from his family and his home and was forced to live a life apart. A twilight existence of secrecy and rebellion. I did not in the beginning choose to place my people above my family. But in attempting to serve my people, I found that I was prevented from fulfilling my obligations as a son, a brother, a father, and a husband. Students, unavoidably is unavoidably, or the thing that you cannot avoid. Twilight is half light or semi darkness. Secrecy is the action of keeping something secret. And rebellion is the action or process of resisting authority, convention, or control. Now, the writer is saying that if you live in any other country, it's quite easy to fulfill both the obligation or both the duty. But when you are living in countries like South Africa, it is not easy to fulfill both of the duties at the same time. When a person of color would come up for his society, he would be arrested and taken away from his family. As Nelson Mandela was born in the family of blacks, so it was not easy to go against the white and to stand up for the rights. Definitely, when you are busy in keeping or in fulfilling both the responsibility, you may face some hardships, some problems regarding of it. In the beginning, Mandela did not put his people over his family, but it was only later when he realized that in order to be there for his people, he was compromising his duties towards his own family. When in the starting he was fulfilling his duties only for his family, but when he felt that he should be more responsible towards his people, society, and nations, then he found himself more inclined towards the nation or towards the duties of nation. So when he started performing his second obligation, second duty regarding the nations, he found that he was unable to fulfill his duties regarding his family, as a son, as a father, as a sister, brother, and as a husband also. So finally he told us that if you are living in South Africa at a particular time, you cannot fulfill your both the duties regarding your families and regarding your nation. So students, this is call for the day, and the next portion or the next paras of this chapter we will cover up in our next video. Thank you.